Residents from Boon Lay in West Coast GRC were left disappointed after being unable to meet their MP, Desmond Lee, during a Meet the People session on 21st November. The residents, identified as A and R, had hoped to discuss Singapore University's academic ties with Israeli institutions and support for the Palestine Scholarship Initiative. This incident marks the second time residents have been unable to engage their MPs on similar issues. Earlier, on 4th November, a Choa Chu Kong resident waited 2 hours to meet MP Low Yen Ling, but was denied a face-to-face discussion about Singapore's role in the Palestinian crisis. Residents A and R, who arrived at 7:30 p.m., registered and waited until after 10 p.m. However, volunteers informed them that MP Desmond Lee would not be able to see them that night, citing the complexity of their concerns. Determined to present their concerns, A and R attempted to negotiate with the volunteers to secure a meeting. They first offered to wait until all other residents had been attended to, even if it meant staying late into the night. However, the volunteers pointed out that the session could stretch until 2:30 or even 3 o'clock, making this impractical. The residents then suggested returning on another day, only to be told that there was no guarantee they would be able to meet MP Desmond Lee even then. When they proposed arranging an appointment outside of the MPS or at a less crowded branch, the volunteers declined, stating that such arrangements were not possible. In a final attempt, A and R asked if they could at least receive confirmation that their concerns would be raised with the MP and get a direct response, whether in person or via email. The volunteers explained that while they would forward the concerns to the relevant authorities, there were no guarantees of a reply. Municipal issues typically take 4 to 6 weeks to address, and complex policy matters like theirs could take even longer. Having exhausted all options to meet their MP, the residents resigned themselves to the fact that they would not be able to see him that night. They left at 10:45 p.m., marking the longest recorded wait at an MPS to date. They recounted that while the volunteers were friendly and diplomatic, they reiterated that, as is often the case at MPS, such issues were not the right channel, as MPS sessions are primarily intended to address municipal concerns like financial aid and housing issues. The residents explained that they had already tried writing to the relevant authorities, universities, ministries, and even MP Desmond Lee himself, but had received no responses. Through its Instagram account, Monday of Palestine Solidarity questioned MP Desmond Lee's decision. The group highlighted that resident A had previously met him at an MPS session several months earlier, with another friend to discuss Gaza-related issues. Why was MP Desmond willing to see resident A back then but not now? The group asked. Why did he refuse to arrange a future appointment or even direct email correspondence with his residents? Why is genocide still being deprioritized despite our nation's direct or indirect complicity? Since when did MPS become a channel only for municipal issues? MPS are meant to act as a bridge between the community and the government, regardless of the issues raised, the group stated. The group also noted that both A and R represent a new generation of voters in the upcoming general election. Inspired by Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong's speech at the Youth Policy Forum in August 2024, where he urged youths to contribute to causes they feel strongly about, the pair had prepared extensively for their discussion with MP Desmond Lee. It is disheartening to see young Singaporeans being turned away by their MP at a Meet the People session, the group remarked. They added that while they understood the importance of addressing municipal needs, they believed urgent humanitarian issues like the genocide in Gaza deserved equal attention. The incident highlights systemic issues within West Coast GRC's MPS operations, particularly after the departure of former MPS Iswaran. Despite the vacancy lasting 11 months, no by-election has been called, leaving the remaining MPs to handle a significantly increased caseload. Volunteers noted that MPS sessions in the area frequently run until 2:30 a.m. due to overwhelming demand. A large proportion of cases involve financial aid, which leaves limited capacity for policy-related discussions like those raised by A and R. The lack of a by-election to replace Iswaran has been criticized as a net loss for the people, with residents forced to wait long hours for their cases to be heard. This raises questions about the electoral system. Monday of Palestine Solidarity commented, residents in Singapore have increasingly sought to address the Israel-Palestine conflict with their MPs, voicing their concerns and advocating for stronger action. On 16 September, Holland Bukit Timur resident Hassana met with MP Edward Chia, who urged caution regarding sanctions against Israel. On 7 October, activists in Punggol West appealed to MP Soon Shueling, urging her to consider stronger measures in response to the ongoing conflict. However, on 4 November, a Choa Chu Kang resident waited 2 hours to meet MP Lo Yen Ling, but was denied a face-to-face discussion about Singapore's role in the Palestinian crisis. On 18 November, a group of residents from Jalan Besar met MP Josephine Teo, but despite an emotional and detailed discussion, she offered no concrete responses. Activists continue to encourage residents to engage with their MPs in an effort to raise awareness about Palestine and build solidarity in Singapore. The total death toll since Israel's assault on Gaza in October of last year has surpassed 45,200, according to Gaza's health ministry. Over 107,600 others have been wounded, with many victims reportedly trapped under rubble as rescue operations continue to struggle.